Final Sal Pal Friday of the year as the Eagles get ready for a playoff atmosphere in Philadelphia, Sal, as they take on the Houston Texans. And by the way, Merry Christmas to you and everybody out there. And don't forget, if you're looking for that last-minute stocking stuffer, Sal Pal's book, The Philly Special, should be right at the top of your Christmas buying list. Sal, welcome back. How are you?
I'm doing well, Mike. Thank you. And thank you for mentioning the book. I've been doing 2 book signings or appearances per day for the last 3 weeks. And tonight's the last one at Barnes & Noble in Morristown at 7 p.m.
Morristown right there up about 45 minutes from us there. All right, Sal Pal, you'll be there.
Yeah.
What time?
Well, you have a big signal, so I get you up here sometimes, and I'm sure people are listening. I'll be at the Morristown Mall, Barnes & Noble, final book signing, Philly Special, the inside story of how the Philadelphia Eagles won their first Super Bowl title. And if you get a gift card to Barnes & Noble for your Christmas gift, you can get it after Christmas for yourself.
The way things are going, Sal, the hysteria in this town, you might need to write a follow-up to this book. What's happening, man? This town is going bonkers right now with number 9 back under center. What is the dynamic here?
What's your favorite Nick Foles nickname? He's got a lot of them. I got one for you, but what's your favorite one?
Let's go with Nicky Six.
Nicky Six is good. Nicky Touchdown, Nicky Six, and Saint Nick. But mine is, because it's in South Philly and because I have a vowel on the end of my name, I can get away with this one. Nicky Five Fingers Foles, because he steals a win every Sunday afternoon, baby.
Well, I saw you were there Wednesday at
that's a good one, Mike.
I like it, and I like the footwear he was wearing the other day with the 5 feet into the. Did you see the footwear he had on the other day with his feet?
Yeah. I asked him if he's got a shoe contract out of it. He said no.
Well, you were at NovaCare Wednesday, and you were kind of asking Doug about his experiences, being a backup and what the mentality is like. It seems that this is just on a whole nother level than just a normal backup coming in.
Yeah, well, Doug's got great experience in it because he did it, backed up Brett Favre. And, of course, he backed up – who else did he back up? He backed up Dan Marino. So 2 Hall of Famers, yeah.
Did a little time in Green Bay, too, didn't he? Was he backing up? Oh, you said Favre. Yeah, Favre, Marino. Yeah, he's been
Favre and Marino, yeah. Exactly.
Was he the back? Did he get a little time? Was he in Cleveland at all behind Kozar, or was Kozar gone by then?
Now you're stretching my memory. I don't remember that one, but the point is that he knows
Tim
how
Couch,
to
I'm getting told here.
He knows how to coach it. He knows how to play it. You got me?
Yeah,
he knows how to play it. So, he's done a great job, and when you look at it, right, Jeff Hostetler is really the only other quarterback to come in late in the season for a team on its way to the postseason, New York Giants in 1990, and win a Super Bowl. So, it's never been done before. And then you really can't compare Nick Foles to Hostetler because Hostetler, he was playing under 2 Hall of Fame coaches, Belichick and Parcells, a Hall of Fame defense and Lawrence Taylor. And that team was running the football. I mean, they ran it more than anybody. What Foles has done, to me, unprecedented, Mike Gill, unprecedented.
I think a lot of people agree with you. I mean, what do you make in that locker room right now? You got shrines being built in there. What's the dynamic between, what's Carson Wentz's mindset with all this going on right now?
I think he's handling it great. You don't have to worry about Carson Wentz. He'll be fine. He knows he's the future of the team. But, I think what Chris Long did was in response to a lot of the ambivalence that's out there about the situation. And he wanted to put it to rest. He's the locker room leader along with Malcolm Jenkins. And he wanted to put it to rest that the team absolutely worships at the shrine of number 9.
Now, Carson Wentz, there was a report out there that says he really wants to play through this fracture. He went out to get another opinion that the Eagles think rest is the best right now. Do you think we'll see Wentz at all if this team was to get hot, get into the playoffs? Do we see Carson Wentz again the rest of the year?
Mike, I like to take it 1 week at a time.
Yeah. Well, you know, the hysteria.
I really think that it's important for the team to be focused in on beating the Texans and beating the Redskins and crossing their fingers and hoping that either Chicago or Detroit beats the Vikings. I mean, that to me is the key.
All right, well,
and Carson Wentz, you know, is fully understanding of his role. And, you know, listen, if there was no Nick Foles, right, let's just say, you want to give a hypothetical?
Sure.
It's Super Bowl week. There's no Nick Foles. Does Carson Wentz play? Absolutely he plays.
Well, this story's unbelievable. It really is. And you just mentioned it. You got to get to the finish line here. You got to win these two. You need some help still. And this week here, this is a really good team. You went out to beat the Rams last week in L.A. Now you get to come home, and you're actually a favorite against a team that's won, 9 out of 10 here. So Nick Foles on the offense here. I thought last week we saw more. You mentioned it all the time on the show, Sal. If Ertz is your best weapon, your offense is going to struggle a little bit. That's not a knock on Ertz. It just means you're not high-powered. They got Jeffrey involved last week. How'd they do it?
Yeah, I mean, I have talked to you on this show until everybody's blue in the face. People are tired of me saying it. Love Zach Ertz. Happy he's setting records. You know, God love him. He's going to the Pro Bowl. But your offense has to be explosive. It can't be the tight end between the hash marks on a curl route. You have to get down the field for a lot of reasons. You want to be explosive and score points in big chunks, and you want to open up the defense so they're not, you know, parking themselves in the box and stopping your running game. It's a complementary game, and it's not that tough to figure out. So that's one. Foles took some shots downfield. But the most important thing is he wasn't sacked. And is
that on him, or is the line playing better?
Well, I'm going to give you the examples that I think I've come up with, and the reasoning why I think 90% of it was Foles. The only 2 times the Eagles have not given up a sack this year was when Carson Wentz ran outside the pocket against the Redskins. He was 6 of 7 for 100 yards passing outside the pocket, both career highs for him. That was against the Redskins. Then what happens? Rod Marinelli says, not happening in Dallas. The defensive coordinator of the Cowboys shuts down the escape routes, and Carson Wentz is holding the football. And what happens against the Rams? Nick Foles gets rid of the ball in 2.5 seconds, snap to release on average, 2.5. Second highest of any quarterback playing last weekend. Second highest. Now think about that for a second. And a full half second than Carson Wentz's average. Now, Nick Foles came off. Michael, listen to this. This is amazing. He comes off the bench, Mike, after being on the bench for 12 weeks straight from week 2 to week 14. And he comes out and he gets rid of the ball, snap to release on average, second fastest in the league. How hard is that to do? Really, really hard.
Yeah.
But they knew they had to get to the line of scrimmage, call the play, get the ball out of his hands, give the line a chance against one of the best defensive lines, and it opens everything up. It's not a tough game, Mike. Come on.
You're right, and they moved the ball. They scored 30 for only the second time all season long. So this week, Eagles offense against this Texans defense. What's Sal Pao's key matchup there?
Well, they got to have more of the same. Get rid of the ball quickly, get it out of his hands, take shots down the field to loosen the safeties up. The Texans secondary is not great, but their front seven is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. It is great front seven. Maybe one of the best in the league. I don't think I'm going out on a limb by saying that.
No, sir.
So you got to get the ball out of your hands. You're not going to be able to block these guys all day long. And it's up to Foles to prevent sacks and hits, not the O-line. It's up to Foles. So that, to me, is the number one thing.
All right, let's look at the Eagles' defense here because you got Watson and you got Hopkins. I'm imagining that when you look at your key matchup to watch for the Eagles' defense, something with those two guys has got to be involved.
Right. So Hopkins gets an average of 10 targets a game. In their 9-1 streak here, Hopkins' target ratio is 71%. That means he's catching 71% of the balls thrown to him. That's fourth best in the league during the last 10 games. So he has not only become the total focal point of their offense, but a very productive one. The Deshaun Watson, the DeAndre Hopkins connection saved the Texans last week against the Jets. You watched it. You saw it. Saved the game. They might have lost to the Jets at the Meadowlands. They might have lost to them. So it's all about Hopkins. And I'm sure they've had some success now with Avonte Maddox. But Maddox is a small guy, Mike.
He's tough, though, man. That kid's tough. I like him. And Sal, I'm a West Virginia guy. He went to Pitt, so I'm not supposed to say that.
No, he's tough, Mike.
Yeah.
He's tough. No question.
By the way, score a medium hot or iced Dunkin' Donuts coffee for $1 on every Eagles game day. Use your Perks and Roll DD card. Let me get Sal Pao's 3 keys to this week's Eagle-Texans matchup.
Well, got to get out of line up and get the ball out of Foles' hands. Give him a chance so that he's not under constant pressure from J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney and Marcellus Wiley. Merciless.
Yep.
So I think I think those are the key things right there. Got to get the ball out of your hands quickly. Number 2, find Hopkins and double him. I like Avonte Maddox too. He's tough and a playmaker. But you got to bracket him. You got to double him. You got to hit him. You got to make sure that he doesn't ruin your afternoon. That's 3. That's 2. And number 3 is really one thing that you need to do in this game is run the football. It's the amount of run attempts that's key. Run attempts will be very high in this game. If they're going to win it, it's got to be close to 30 like it was last week.
When the Eagles win, you win at Dunkin' Donuts. DD Perks members score a $1 medium hot or iced coffee the day after every Eagles win. And I know Sal will be bringing the donuts for the boys, but will you be bringing it in celebration? Will there be an Eagles victory on Sunday against the Texans?
Yeah, so what I do is, before I get on the Betsy Ross Bridge, there's a Dunkin' Donuts right there on 130 that's open 24/7. It says it right on the big orange letters in the windows. I stop in there. I get 2 dozen donuts, and I give them to the security guards at the parking lot at the link so that I can park in a primo spot. And that's what I do every Sunday morning on my way to an Eagles game when they're home. And I think the Eagles, and they all invariably ask me, "What are we going to do, Sal? What are we going to do? What are we going to do this Sunday? What are we going to do today?" And I'm going to tell them, here's your donuts from Dunkin' Donuts, and the Eagles will win 24-20.
24-20 Eagle victory with Dunkin' Donuts. Sal Paolantonio, don't forget the book signing tonight. Philly special, the inside story of how the Eagles won their first Super Bowl championship, right on the cover, number 9.
Yep, and I'll be at the Morristown Mall tonight, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Tonight's the final book signing. I've done over 60 of them across the country, and I'm going to finish up right in my backyard here in South Jersey.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, Sal. Another Sal Pal Friday in the books. I appreciate it as always.
Okay, you got it. Happy holidays, everybody.